Minnesota Vikings had a major decision this offseason with their two starting off-ball linebackers from last year, veteran Eric Kendricks, as well as last year's free agent signee Jordan Hicks. But in a crazy world, the Vikings parted ways with Eric Kendricks and are retaining Jordan Hicks. Sort of is what it is. But yeah, Jordan Hicks, the pride of Texas, former third-round pick by the Eagles, played with the Cardinals, came over as a free agent. Apparently, they're keeping him. So, Adam Caplan, go. Vikings and veteran inside linebacker Jordan Hicks have agreed to restructure his contract to keep him with the team for another season, sources said. Now, Hicks last year signed a 2-year, $10 million deal and was due a $4.45 million base salary this year. Now, this is what frustrates me. So, pay cuts are not restructures, and restructures aren't pay cuts. And with a classic restructure, Hicks would have to have future seasons left to be able to transfer that base salary into a signing bonus or a roster bonus, whatever. But either way, Jordan Hicks, he was $1.5 million of his $1.45 million 2023 salary was going to be fully guaranteed on the third day of the new league year, coming up Friday on the 17th. But official numbers aren't out yet, but I'm sure what it is, it's basically just a stripping down of the base salary, potentially to the league minimum, and then maybe some incentives thrown in there. That's what they mean by a restructure on a one-year deal. But basically, it's a pay cut, and hopefully it's something where you're not swapping out guaranteed money, and I think it's a spot where Hicks maybe isn't even guaranteed a spot on the 53, but he remains on the 90-man, and I'm relatively okay with that. Where Jordan Hicks, 2022, 129 tackles, second on the team, 14 pressures. He actually had 3 sacks, and then 66.7 PFF grade. But the problem was him in coverage, and that was the issue with both him and Kendricks. 119.1 quarterback rating allowed. Offenses would go out of their way to target him, put a running back on Jordan Hicks. You saw what happened with Tony Pollard and the Cowboys. 4 touchdowns allowed in coverage. It was just not good. All right, so Hicks can still tackle. Coverage, not so much. Sort of is what it is. Linebacker-wise, so with Hicks back in the fold, you have him and Asamoah. You got Troy Dye, the special teamer, as well as William Kwenku, last year's UDFA out of Temple. And I do sort of understand bringing back Hicks. Like, yes, you could have saved $5 million on the cap like that by moving on, but Kwesi did have all the leverage here, so I'm sure that they basically got Hicks to take the league minimum, maybe some incentives. But Hicks, veteran leader, you're having a veteran leadership drain on that side of the ball. You parted away with Hicks. You may be cutting Harrison Smith. It looks like Patrick Peterson might not be back, so having a little bit of institutional knowledge on that side of the ball does make sense. You're sticking with the 3-4. Hicks has been a 3-4 inside linebacker since going back to his college days, and maybe Flores put in a good word for him. It's also possible. He's still a solid tackler. Like I said, not great in coverage, but he still can tackle, and that's something that's going to be needed on that side of the ball. Plus, it leaves linebacker as less of a free agent and draft need, where I don't think it changes your plans at all. So if you can still land like a Tremaine Edmonds to pair up with Asamoah long term, or if you draft an off-ball linebacker like a Dorian Williams or a Darren Henley, whatever, Jack Campbell to pair up with Asamoah long term, you still do that. But Hicks, gives you a little bit of a stopgap. It gives you a little bit of a bridge off-ball linebacker, as well as it keeps a veteran with some knowledge in the system. So on the surface, seems a little weird, but I understand it, but the price has got to be right. Again, paring down to the league minimum with some incentives, with nothing guaranteed or very little guaranteed, I would be okay with that. But are your thoughts our thoughts? Report that the Vikings have restructured linebacker Jordan Hicks, and he's going to return for next year. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.